people necessarily want to stay at home or to comply with such directives. But it's as bad and sad as that. So something needs to be done about it. Is it the PDP now? We're calling for a National Security Council meeting in respect of whether seeing a number of those Security Council meetings. I think what we need now is action moving forward to give confidence. Instill confidence is key, and it's not just in the south; it's across the country and several other places. Even in Benue State, recent killings.
In the northwest,
in the
terrorists
northwest,
continue
everywhere. So we need some confidence building.
But the president mentioned December as deadline 2022 for the security agencies to flush them out.
I mean, we've seen this several times. We've seen Inspector Generals of Police who will come and say, "I will end this." By so time, they will end up attacking the person's village, and all that. We've seen it over time. I don't believe in giving deadlines and all of that. What should be done should be done. By the time it's done, we'll say, "Okay, yes, we've done it."
Amechi, good morning, dear listener, and good morning, TV. It's pathetic to keep hearing that the Southeast is unsafe. A few weeks ago, the governor was at the villa where we heard that the president gave him go ahead to use the high tech to fight, to defeat the evil, let me call it that way, in the state. I mean, you remember Abacha said if insecurity fester for more than 48 hours, the government is involved. And we've seen a situation whereby the governor has kept on blaming some politicians in court for the continuous insecurity in Imo State.
And threatened at some point to name them publicly.
So now,
they couldn't.
So now, you know what they say about procrastination? When you keep procrastinating, saying that you will, and you never have said it. And the insecurity continues. We have seen this horrible... I was listening to a group of persons discussing, and they were weeping on air, Amici, over the murder of that local government chairman. And we've seen all over the papers now that there is a bounty placed on one Simon Ikpa. Is it a faction? Ikpa? Is it a faction? I think they call him IPOP autopilot in Finland, who is also reacting to a group of Ohanese worldwide, who is saying they are placing 50 million naira bounty on his arrest. Is that supposed to be the responsibility of that group? Where are the security agencies? Where is the state governor himself? Is he not? Can't he? He has the power.
Just to note, Ohanese worldwide is different from the main Ohanese.
Oh, is that so? Okay, so Ohanese worldwide is a group.
It's another group.
So it's not the one that has his leader
it's
that
not
died.
It's not the Igbo socio-cultural organization.
Oh, okay. Whose leader died about 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Okay, good. So
Professor George Obioza.
So as Tebe said, that we have had times where the president directed the police IG to relocate to Benue State over insecurity. And did he go there? Did he do that? And now we have seen that the president has given you go ahead to use high tech. How comes in the last 2 weeks the insecurity has increased? There is palpable fear among not only the Imolite, but the Southeasterners, Amici. People cannot even travel on the road going to the east because of such things. They are scared. You saw, there's also a report that said 39 Reverend Fathers were killed in last year alone. That includes some in the southeast. So where are we going? It's about 30 days to the election, and we're still having such gruesome
39 Catholic priests killed, 30 abducted in 2022 alone. One may wonder, why are they targeting Catholic priests? Apart from INEC and all that. Now, the killings, like you said, are all across, but the manner of killing in Imo, like Teve said, the last time we saw it was the Boko Haram, even decapitating security agents that they are arrested and all that. What is the underlying problem in Imo? One will notice that this problem escalated in the last few years, perhaps since the incumbent governor assumed office. From what we are hearing, his emergence, based on a Supreme Court judgment, appeared to have exacerbated the situation there. When a government lacks legitimacy, it runs into a problem. If the people believe or some of the people believe that you're not supposed to be in government.
If the government is perceived.
Yes, if they believe they perceive.
No perception is
yes, that you're not supposed to be there. There's the de facto and the de jure. The de jure is the legal standing. The legal standing by law, by Supreme Court judgment, I'm your governor. But de facto, in actual fact, do the people see you as their governor? And it depends again on the way you approach the matter. If you have a legitimacy challenge, if you apply wisdom, there are ways and manner you could recover it, surmount the problem, and oversee a peaceful territory. But if you use the wrong approach and strategy, it may end up in armed resistance, and that is what we are seeing in Imo State. Even the governor's village in his own town was burnt down. I doubt whether the governor can confidently go and spend 1 week in his village.
If he has rebuilt his house.
Yeah, so it is deep in Imo State, and it's apparent the security agencies don't have a solution. They appear helpless and overwhelmed. It may be a political solution. It may be, I'm not saying it will be, it may be, based on the fact that it keeps worsening by the day. So the situation in the country, elsewhere in Benue, we saw killings in Zamfara. Even the president's home state, the governor was telling him, saying the president has promised to indeed deliver high-tech equipment, but I reminded him that even the president's home state, some local governments, you dare not move into those places. He has not also moved in those so-called high-tech equipment. So it tells you that the solution is not high-tech. It may not be high-tech equipment. We have to look beyond all this.
Indeed, look, we have to look beyond. I mean, at moments like this is when we expect statesmen, and I believe Imo State has a number of them. Indigenes of I hate to use that word, but it's in the constitution, so you don't have a choice. Indigenes of Imo State owe themselves that responsibility, especially the statesmen there, who we expect should be a little apolitical, despite the fact that they are political human beings. They should be able to call all the political interests in Imo State for the interest, because it is the soul of Imo State that is being destroyed. The lives, the businesses, the schools, and all of that, that are struggling as a result of this insecurity. They need to go to the northeast. They need to even go to the northwest and look at what insecurity has done to places like Borno, places like Yobe, even Adamawa, and Taraba that had, splashes of this. They need to go to those places and see. It will take a lot of time. They need to go to Jos in Plateau State, for instance, and see how that city has practically crumbled and is struggling to get itself back. They may just look at who is the governor.
A DPO was abducted in Plateau State,
yes,
but was released without harm.
So
I think Gulak was not killed in Imo State.
Yes. So the people of Imo State need to get back their state. The governor should not be more than the people, and the other political persons that the governor is pointing accusing fingers should not be more than
the state.
Should not be more than Imo State. PDP cannot be more than Imo State. ABGA cannot be more than Imo State. Labour Party cannot be more than Imo State.
They should
be statesmen. They should
recall what
call
happened
everybody
to
order.
PDP House of Representatives candidate in Imo State, Idato, and this same chairman who is around that Delta South, Idato North, and all that. You can imagine the security heat map, if you draw it, what Imo will look like on election day. You can imagine the armed people when armed security men are deployed. I don't know how many could be deployed there because of the need we have for them across Nigeria. You can just only imagine what the situation will be in Imo State.
I don't think people will come out in these areas to vote. I beg to disagree. People, the citizens or indigenes, as Teve would not like to call them, of that area of Imo State.
Yes, because
of fear.
Actually, there are several parts
you also have the seat at home.
That are
ongoing.
Peaceful. There are several. In fact, most part of Imo State are peaceful. It's just around that Osu area, around the governor's place, the old Olu senatorial zone. Some, not all of it, some aspects of it.
So I think at this point, the security agencies need to come tell the resident citizens, Nigerian citizens who travel from all looks and cranny to Imo State, to know that These are the flashpoints, so that people can, that they are free to travel to the borders between Imo and Abia. They are free to travel to, but this one they should be conscious, because you don't know whether you have unknown gunmen around or maybe known gunmen.
Well, the former governor of Imo State, Ikedo Hakim, would have such tales to tell if the vehicle he was traveling in some weeks back, I think, was it after the New Year?
Yes.
After the New Year.
If not for the bulletproof vehicle, he was himself and some of his family members, it would have been a sad tale. But those policemen that were in the back of vehicle security lost their lives. So it tells you that. And look at what he said. He said, these are not ragtag army. These are professional men who knows not just how to use the rifle, but understand the rifle. The way they kept firing, that he's convinced is a very beautiful, most professional job.
I hate saying this. I think the president should call the leaders in Imo. I know he has visited, but I think he should call both the PDP, the APC leaders, the Ohanese in Imo State, the leaders of thought, as they call them then, call them together for a meeting. I think they know what the problem is.
They know.
They know exactly what the problem is.
And they know what the solutions are.
They know.
But
so,
personal aggrandizement, will they allow, where is the statesman, a politician who want to be in power at all costs, no matter the consequence, but we lack statesmen.
I served in Imo. I served in Imo a number of years ago, and this was a city where by weekend you see people coming in from Abia, people coming in from Enugu.
You have a lot of clubs there.
All those places coming
to
in.
Yes. They still trooping to Owerri.
You know
how many radio stations I know in Owerri alone?
And after the weekend, they go back to their places to continue with their business and all of that. I'm not sure that will be the same, because we went there for the Guild of Editors. And what I saw actually was a shadow of that state. The indigenous, Abulu, yes, the president, but that state belongs to the indigenous of Imo. It is their responsibility. What's her name now? She wanted to be chairman of Idiato. A number of them, Emmanuel Wanyahu, all of them, that state belong. They need to call these people to order and save their state.
Well, let's see. We initially advised the president to summon an emergency meeting of the National Council of State on the security situation, not just in Imo,